Hey guys, it's Kyle, and I'm back for another video of what it's like having solar panels in Michigan. And apologies for the delay in getting this most recent video out for August activity. It's the September bill, but I know we're doing this September 27th. So basically, just wanted to switch software, and it took a lot longer than expected. So yeah, apologies, but have some exciting news to share. So I'll go through all the details now. So hopefully you guys can see my screen now. And the most exciting update is we went from 8 panels to 9 panels. So we actually got one added. And basically it came down to that our installer they're great. They did an awesome job, but they underestimated the amount of electricity our 8 panels would produce. So our 404 kilowatt hours that we averaged over the 12 months prior to getting solar panels. So this was like over a year ago, that estimated out to be 404, and the 8 panels were supposed to be 80% of that. So 80% of 404 was 323, which I have right there. So we were expecting to have 323 kilowatt hours um, produced from the sun in every month on average. So we were not there, and they actually added a panel for us so we could get there. So very nice of them. And just to go through some of the calculations on how we got to that. So I have all the data from August 1st, 2023 to 7/30/2024. So it's a full year of data. And if you get the average, it averages out to be about 10 kilowatt hours per day, 9.55. And then that is 286 kilowatt hours per month. So, like I said in my previous slide I had there, we needed to be at 323. So, if you do the math on this, 286, this is what we average per month, and you divide that by the 8 panels, it gets us to 35 kilowatt hours per panel. So if you add in one extra panel, 286 plus the 35, you end up at 322. And the number I told you is 323. So that gets us right to where they said we needed to be. And that's how we did the math on it. And it just ended up working out perfectly. I wouldn't say that everybody would get one perfect panel out of the numbers, but the numbers did work out that way. So that's now up and running. So very excited to see how that goes. And so far, we've already generated more in September than we did last September. Uh, shouldn't be shocked. Nobody should be shocked by that just because we have an extra panel now. So it is working pretty much the same as all the others. It's a touch different. It is still have a micro inverter. It's the same brand as you can see up here, United Renewable Energy. But yeah, so it's working good. It's same exact color. It's just a touch bigger, so it should perform, maybe just a touch better than the other ones. We'll see. So anyway, wanted to jump into the data for this month, which was the September bill once again, and that was for the August activity. So this month it was from 7:30 all the way to 8:27. And if you do the math on that, it ends up being 391 kilowatt hours that we generated. So once again, columns A and B, that's the amount that we generated from the solar panels, 391 kilowatt hours. And when you look at our bill, this is the amount, the self-generated outflow section. This is the amount that we actually sold back to consumers. So generated 391, sold back 271. So that gives us a total used while producing of 120. And the total used while producing is a great number because that's basically free electricity. So you don't have to get billed from consumers to store it on the grid. You're literally generating it in the same second that you're using it in your house. So everybody loves free electricity. It isn't listed on the bill, but it is one important number that I always highlight. So you can see our total bill for the month was $58.60. This was actually, a bill from before we got the extra panel added, so it wouldn't be reflected in there. But as you can see, I mean, $58 that is a bit high. It shouldn't be that high. Last year, this exact same time year in September, our bill was only $27.18. And that's simply just because of the weather. This past August was just extremely hot, and we were in the 90s most of the time. and we ended up using a lot more air conditioning and resulting in more kilowatt hours used. So still, not super happy with how high the bill was, but it should be remediated going forward with having that extra panel. And yeah, so very, very excited about that. Other items worth noting here on the bill. So we got $29 from the self-generated outflow section. So that's the amount we sold back to consumers. And as of a few months ago, they allow you to use that full credit towards the rest of your bill. You didn't used to be able to do that. You used to only be able to apply it to the electric charges section. Now you can apply it to the other charges section. So that's great news. If you were to, I don't have a picture of last year's bill at this time, simply just because I downloaded it a little bit too late. But if you were to look at the numbers, you would see that the on-peak energy used to be 15 cents, now it's 14, and then the off-peak used to be 10 cents, now it's 9. So it did go down a touch, but what they did is they upped the distribution charge. This used to be 6, and now this is 7. So distribution is a huge part of the bill. It's $32, almost the exact same. It's actually more than the amount of electricity you use. So consumers really wants to make sure you're paying them for the ability to use their electricity and have it distributed to you to your house. So does everyone check this? Probably not. Probably most people don't, but if you were to analyze it, that's the big change that they did. So yeah, so I'll go through my last part that I always like to go through here, which was the full summary. So we have the in-phase data, 391 kilowatt hours. And then we have the self-generated outflow section, which I already mentioned, which was 271. And I know I already said this, but it just kind of flows better to go through it all again. So the total used while producing was 120. The total kilowatt hours that we were charged were 436. So when we add back that total used while producing of 120, we get to an amount that we would have paid if we never actually got solar panels, which would have been 556 kilowatt hours. So I made that chart, which I have up here, and it kind of estimates what your bill would be at the different kilowatt hour measurements. So 556, I'm estimating that we'd be around 105, 106 in terms of dollars. And since our bill was only $58 this month, that gives us a amount saved of $47.40. But since we do still have that solar loan of $86 a month, we ended up paying an extra $38 for having solar panels. So it is still makes sense to have the panels, and it's going to pay off in the long term. We really just need to get that solar loan paid off. It is mostly interest, so the interest you're paying every month is probably about $40. So once we get that paid off, we'll definitely start turning a profit. But yeah, overall, still very happy with them. And I'll be going through the next set of, the September bill very soon here, and it should start looking a little bit better with that extra panel. So anyway, once again, sorry for the late upload here, but really appreciate you guys staying tuned, and have a good one. Thanks.